I'm gonna tell you guys right now, just reading and seeing what they are, that sounds busted. I ain't gonna lie. Because again, you're gonna be able to socket multiple, potentially. I guess I don't know how like it didn't say what color is what, or you know, whatever. So like it'll be interesting to see the combinations you can actually use in game. But honestly, a lot of these sound very, very, very strong. Like I'm saying, like, wow. And I would, like I said, for the PvP build that we're working on, I see a lot of stuff that looks kind of juicy. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Great feat, 75% damage is insane for Necros. Dude, I think from what I'm seeing, is that it? That's it, right? From what I'm seeing, oh, I didn't read the last one. Wait, there's another one? Question is if proc cooldown or not. Yeah, that Thor, exactly. It doesn't sound like it would. It doesn't, because it says at a reduced like damage. So my guess is it does not proc the cooldown based off of reading it. Wait, what did I skip? No, overall, like there are nerfs happening, but again, if you read the actual gems, the gems are going to offset that by a lot, even in PvE. Wait, what Necro one did you talk about? Oh, I didn't even know there was more. Hold up. What is it? Damn, Duckin' still out here gifting them, bro. Man. Shit.
I'm Duckin' just gifted Scalalapine.
Yeah, right, man. Still out here gifting them, man. Holy shit. It's like it's like Halloween, man. One of my favorite times of year. You get some candy. You get some candy. Welcome. You get some candy. Here, have a sub badge. Y'all, you got here. Here you go, man. I miss a lot? What? How did, bro, I've been literally reading this shit for an hour. There's more patch notes? What the fuck? Where? I did do the balance changes. Yes, I did. Perry, you just weren't here for it. I read that shit. I don't want, like, the launcher ain't it. Diablo 4 season 1 patch notes. I read all this shit. This? Oh, right here? Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. This is the only thing I did not do that. I didn't even know you could do that. That's why. If the excuse for all the nerfs is offset balance from the gems, the nerfs only happen in the seasonal world. True, but I think that some of the changes are only for the seasonal, aren't they? Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Some of them are only and some aren't. What's up, Shaggy? I don't know. I feel like, yeah, they obviously changed some things that don't feel that great, but there's a lot of other changes that do feel great. So, like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all actually plays out. You know, because on paper it's one thing. You know, we're only able to interpret what we know, but there's a lot of unknown being added, right? So, but that is a good point that Beetle pointed out. Like, there's a lot unknown in the season, but then what about the people that aren't playing season? That's a good point. Let's see. I'm not going to look at all of them because I'm only really worried, obviously, about Necromancer right now. Initiates decompose slow increased. Okay. Paranormal sever cast required for vulnerable reduced. So that, like, both of those are buffs. Enhanced blood surge healing increased. Again, where are you seeing nerfs right here? Enhanced blood lance damage reduction for piercing reduced. Okay, there's a little bit of a nerf, right? Or wait, no. Enhanced blood lance damage reduction for piercing reduced from 15 to 10, which doesn't apply to us. Bone prison initial essence gained. You know what's wild? Oh, hold on. Bite on my shit. Hold on, get out. Felt something on my foot. I felt something on my foot, and a fucking cat's in here playing with the cords. I'm lucky. Hopefully she didn't bite anything. How the hell did she get in? I don't even know. She must have opened, like, I must have left the thing unlatched and she opened it. I don't know. I felt something on my foot and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? There shouldn't be, like, what the hell? I look down at my cat's down there playing with my cords. But yeah, so you know what's an interesting thing that I just noticed? I'm pretty sure Bone Prison is like procking Lucky Hit like 100% or some shit crazy I heard. And I didn't read anything about them fixing that. Oh, let's see. Iron Maiden healing increased. Golems move faster. Like everything I'm seeing is a buff. But not for us, but like in general for the class. Supreme Blood Wave leaves behind Blood Orbs earlier. Again, all of these are buffs. Raised Skeleton, Corpse Explosion. Ooh, wait. Raised Skeleton, Corpse Explosion, and Corpse Tendrils range for auto-targeting corpses on mouse. Increased! Ooh. Ooh, that helps us. You guys don't understand, because a lot of times I'll sit there and spam. I'll be trying to spam my tendrils or spam my corpse explosion, and like my cursor isn't close enough for it to actually use. Oh, that's good for us. That's like everything I've read here is like a buff. That's the only buff that actually, like for my build specifically, this is a buff for me. Spray Skeleton, obviously that increased. So yeah, everything for the Necromancer looks like a buff. And the only one that equates to, or for me, is this one. But still, in general, like the blood stuff is getting buffed. The minions are getting buffed. Bonus damage to vulnerable. Evulsion bonus damage to vulnerable reduced. That's a little bit of a nerf, but Evulsion, like that was kind of part of the Bone Spear stuff, so I'm not surprised by that. Transfusion minion healing increased. Buff. Drain vitality lucky hit chance increased. Buff. Amplified damage increased. That's a buff for us too. So we got two minor buffs here. So that's a buff, and this is a buff for us directly. In terms of our build. Book of the Dead. Necromancer minions will now automatically resummon after respawning during a world boss. Skeleton Warriors Defenders upgrade Thorns inherited increase from 40 to 50. Again, buffs. Shadow Skeleton upgrade attacks required for additional Shadow Bolt reduced. Buff. Bone Skeleton Mage upgrade fortify amount increased. Buff. Big time actually. Holy shit. Iron Golem upgrade attacks required for slam reduced. Buff. Essence Glyph's bonus now affects all damage instead of just core. Wait, Essence Glyph bonus now affects all damage. We're going to have to look at that. We're going to have to see what that does. Because, ooh, that gives us a potential another glyph possibility. Splintering Aspect, Bone Shard damage reduced. But again, that's the, that is Bone Necromancer, which I'm not surprised that's getting nerfed. Aspect of Plunging Darkness increased. Coldbringer's aspect cooldown, that's a buff. Aspect, so everything's getting buffed except for Bone, but that's not surprising at all to me. Blood soaked damage, that's I mean, is that going to make a massive difference? Probably not. Well, actually it's a pretty nice bonus. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like insane, but that's a minor buff to us as well. Ultimate Shadow increased. I currently have it off, but usually I do, like in my PvE build I have it, so again that's a slight, actually it's like more than double buff. Aspect of Grasping Banes, critical damage bonus reduced. Not surprised there. I kept telling you guys, Grasping Veins was one of the strongest things in the game, so again that does not surprise me. That's a nerf, but I'm telling you guys that shit was insane. That aspect is just cracked. So yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Osseous Gale, Bone Storm duration, ooh, increased. Nice. Aspect of the damn bonus doesn't, but it's a buff. Bloodbathed aspect echo damage. So bloodbathed aspect echo damage reduction reduced. Is that a buff? I don't even know. Aspect of the skeletons increased. Well, the scream essence gained increased. Death Visage damage. Whoa, Deathless Visage, which is Bone Spear, damage increased. Interesting. So yeah, I again, I'm not seeing anything that's gonna really hurt us. Honestly, I only see more potential. From everything did I miss anything? Is there anything else? No, I read all that, Beetle. I already read all that. Yeah, we went through all that. But again, so what you're talking about, I read all this. The DR and stuff, yes. In PvE, I mean, even in PvP, it's gonna be interesting to see, but this is for everybody, right? This will make tier 100s harder. Uber Lilith is gonna be harder for sure, right? Losing damage, but again, we're gaining more shadow damage, and look at how much we're getting 40% more shadow damage over time. So we're actually getting buffs in damage. We're losing damage reduction, okay? And I already had insane amount. I took damage reduction out, especially for PvP, because I already had so much. So again, it's just going to be rebalancing and offsetting shit again. I'm not worried at all. I think that we're getting more buffs than we are nerfs, in my opinion, because again, you got to think, everybody is seeing these nerfs, and I've already dealt with this shit, right? I've already taken out a lot of DR. I can add more back. We're getting more damage just naturally, right? A lot of people are. But one of our main things, the shadow damage over time, we're getting 40%, right? Like that in itself, not including the new gems. The vulnerable damage, I'm going to tell you guys right now, vulnerable damage is absolutely one of the biggest things in the game, hence why they're reducing it so much. But and again, I'm talking from the PvP side of things right now. PvE, you're going to notice it more, I think, in like my build, like the Shadow Mist build. But in PvP, I actually took out exploit, the glyph, which is vulnerable damage, because again, vulnerable damage is important, but not as important in the variant I'm making for PvP as like it's going to be for rogues and it's going to be for barbs, right? So honestly, when I think about it, I think that this is more of a benefit for us. Like, yes, it does affect us, and again, I'm speaking strictly from my build. It's definitely gonna take away a little bit of damage, but not nearly as significant as like Hoda Barbs and Rogues, right? Which are way overtuned. So honestly, this might actually, because of that, be a kind of a hidden, I wouldn't say a buff, but it might be, it might be more beneficial than you think for us, is basically what I mean. Yes, it's a nerf even for us, but it doesn't impact us near as much as it does like a Hoda Bar with 400%, right? And rogues, right? Like, they have so much damage right now that they're going to see that nerf purely based off percentages and how much they have more than like I do. It's going to impact them significantly more than it's going to impact me, right? So in that sense, it's actually a good thing for us, right? Anybody playing the build I'm working on, right? Cooldown reduction, honestly, the biggest, I would say the biggest nerf that I can see on paper. Again, it all, once we actually start playing, it'll be interesting to see everything. And don't get me wrong, the armor nerf is big too. Like, that's gonna, but I was so overkill in my tier 100 that I'm not even that worried about that. The cooldown reduction is significant, but again, that's for everybody. And right now, my PvP variant, I've been missing about 10% already. So if, in season 1, I get the right rolls, the ones I want, and I get that extra 10% back, it'll offset this nerf for me. So I'm still going to be like, look how well I'm able to play now, but then everybody else is going to be struggling so much more. Get what I'm saying? So again, this might actually be more beneficial for us in our build. Yeah, it definitely is going to hurt. Like, it's going to make things more difficult, but we'll be able to adapt and play around it, hopefully, right? But honestly, this is the biggest nerf I see. And don't get me wrong, vulnerable damage is insane. Armor is insane. But I've been overkill on armor for not even knowing it. And so it was just recently somebody actually came up with the mathematical formula for armor for like tier 100s. And I was way overkill. So again, we'll see now with the changes, like where I'm at. if I'm sure I'm still gonna hit the cap, but so again, in that sense, it doesn't actually impact my build much at all. The DR though does. The armor, again, not so much with disobedience. But the armor reduction around 30% in general, yeah, that might actually hurt. I don't know. I haven't logged in yet, but so the armor and the cooldown reduction are like the biggest things to me. But again, it's not just me. It's not just our, but that's a global thing for everybody. So everybody has to account for that. Everybody has to adapt to that. So, and it's not going to kill the build, which is a good thing. So yeah. But not going to feel good because they didn't nerf Overpower. Yeah, no, I think Necromancers in general, I don't see anything significant. We got like the only nerfs that I'm really seeing are the ones that everybody is seeing. You know what I mean? And again, it's going to affect more builds more than others, right? And for me, like I said, my vulnerable damage is only like 120%, 150% if I have exploit. And I took exploit out because in PvP, like I said, it's I never thought I would get rid of it because vulnerable damage is just so strong. But honestly, I think I was able to get more in a PvP scenario for my build by taking it out. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like the vulnerable damage to me isn't that scary. For you Hodabars, man, you Hodabars got shit on, but your shit was so busted that I'm not surprised. But yeah, no, I'm not. What I see, I'm not worried. Most of the stuff I see is buffs, really. At least from my perspective of like the build that I'm trying to do, which is good. I was worried. The only thing that really worried me was Decrepify. Because again, you got to think like these nerfs, like the vulnerable damage and all that shit, like and the cooldown, that's everybody. It's not just the Shadowman. And I feel like a lot of builds, like CDR is a big part of most builds, right? The more CDR you get, even Hodabarbs, the same, like more CDR that's one of the best things in the game, right? CDR, for my build, CDR, lucky hit, and movement speed are like the top 3 things I need. So yeah, like I said, that's why this, potentially is going to hurt. But again, I'm already missing so much already that when I keep saying it, but like I said, once I get max, like I don't think I'm going to see much of a difference there from what I'm currently playing, because I'm already missing so much. Ducking with another, oh baby, another one. Yes. Thank you. It just keeps ringing literally 2 hours straight, and he's still ringing, bro. This man is still out here ringing with him, man.
Gifted the Lord of Pious sub.
Thank you. Yeah. Insane. Another one. You gotta be kidding me, man. This is maniac, dude. Wild and out exact. He's an absolute maniac, bro.
That's for you.
Yeah.
Just
you get a sub. You get a sub. You need one too? I got you, man. That's what Zuck is saying right now. Yo, thank you. He's like, hey, everybody gets a sub. Everybody gets one, man. Holy shit. Thank you.
That's for you, my man. Just gifted Techo Bandits a 0 sub.
Everybody's like, hey, I ain't got one. Hey, where am I at? Yo, thank you guys, man. But yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, there's obviously some changes that are a little like honestly the biggest, the damage changes and stuff like that. I'm not worried about. I think it's gonna help. I feel kind of feel bad. Nah, I don't feel bad for you Hodabarbs. You guys needed to get your shit kind of dialed down a little bit. But in that sense, Duckin, he literally just nonstop, man. Absolute maniac, bro. Thank you. Everybody that did not have a sub in the channel that is newer here, hey, y'all got one now, man. Appreciate you guys stopping in, checking things out, hanging out, and hopefully you have yourselves a good time here. But yeah, some of you guys like Rogues, I think you guys got hit pretty hard. I think that Hodabarbs absolutely got hit hard, but was kind of necessary. But then again, like I said, we got so many new things with those heart gems look cracked. I ain't gonna lie. Those look like they're gonna break some things potentially. But yeah, I'm not worried. I think the build that we're working on is gonna be good, man. I think it's still gonna be relevant. I think it honestly still could be one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful now. At least for Necromancer. Ducking with another one, man. I mean, I literally can't even talk for 2 seconds. He's still just gifted, man. Holy shit. Rogue's heart gems look insane. So all of them. Look at all the heart gems look crazy. Like heart gems in general look like, and you're gonna get to use multiple, man. That's not like, man, I think shit's gonna get more wild than you guys think. Like you guys are seeing like the direct nerfs and are getting worried, but honestly, Anybody playing seasonal, I guess. Man, we're gonna like shit could get crazy real fast, especially with them heart gems. I wouldn't be too worried, even if you're playing other classes that seem like you got nerfed more. We don't like. It's gonna be interesting to see how the heart gems all play out and stuff, because they honestly they look pretty fucking strong. Like not even pretty strong. They look, and again, you're gonna get to use multiple. Like they look pretty insane. But I'm just happy to see. Like I said, I think that the build that we're on to something, boys. Maybe not. I don't know. But again, it's so hard to say from paper. But from what I see and what I read, I think we're gonna be able to adapt to it and still do well. If not, you know, be one of the strongest PvP builds out there, potentially. Even more so now, you know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not, but we'll see. I am still looking forward. Like I said, I was really worried. My main concern was if they shit on Decrepify, which I didn't think they should, and they didn't, thankfully. That was only my real concern, because if they would have did that, Necromancer in general would have been, you know, kind of gutted, like literal ass. And for multiple builds, not just mine. So, yeah, I think that we are chilling. One of the biggest things I'm looking forward to, so if anybody played Diablo 2, if you notice, like the new unique items, Asia Wrath, that was a Diablo 2 item. Flesh Render, Diablo 2 item. Lidless Wall, Diablo 2 item. Eagle Horn, Diablo 2. Oculus, all this is Diablo 2 stuff. I love this game more and more. Like the amount of D2 vibes that they're giving just makes me literally like, I just love it. But I'm gonna say, depending on what the actual stats are on Lidless Wall, if it has thorns, which it probably will, I would assume it will, and it has CDR, like I said, depending on what the stats are, this Lidless Wall could make the build that we're working on, the PvP variant, even for PvE, honestly, could make it crazy. Like this could go absolute fucking crazy with our build. So I'm super excited about that. I cannot wait to see one. Hopefully I find one. Because this is one of the unique, so it's gonna be a little harder. But if we, like I said, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I hope that this thing like is a 4 of 4 for our build, and if it is, that is gonna be an absolute fucking dream. Like I said, I honestly, the potential I'm seeing, the build is just gonna be even nuttier than I thought. Potentially, that's my honest opinion on it. But again, we'll see. We shall see.